The Canadian government uses the Express Entry program to bring in candidates through the poll system by checking their qualifications and their skills to determine whether they can come into Canada as permanent residents or not. Are you interested in knowing more details about this? Keep watching. Guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Adedayo and this is These Impressions. Yes, this is These Impressions about everything and anything at all. Today I'll be majorly talking about the Express Entry program and how it works. Okay, so if this is what you've been waiting for, yes, today is the day we are going to address that in its totality, like I always say, right? Okay, so if you're a returning subscriber to my channel, I welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. And if you are perchance stumbling on my channel for the first time, thank you so much. I really do appreciate the fact that you're here, and I would want you to please click on the subscribe button. You know that red button right at the side? Yes, that's the one. Click on it, please, and like my videos if you enjoy the content. You can also share as much as you want, okay? Thank you so much for joining me today. Like I said before, today's topic is Express Entry, everything about the Express Entry. If this is the information you have been waiting for to help you start the process of your immigration to Canada, then you have to listen to this video from the very beginning to the very end. Don't go nowhere. Guys, the Express Entry is the program that allows Canada to bring in skilled workers from different parts of the world into Canada as permanent residents. Like I explained in my previous video, if you go back and watch my previous video, especially the one you can see at the top of the screen right now, you would be able to see that I already discussed about the temporary residents and permanent residents, the differences between them, and I mostly talk about the Express Entry but not in details. So like I said, today I'm going to go into details, and yes, just like I defined the other time, the Express Entry is a program that allows skilled workers to come into the country as permanent residents. Now, the government organized this program so that they would be able to choose persons who are highly eligible or qualified to come into the country to help boost the economy of the country. So if you're thinking of going through this route then you should be listening to this video because it is very important for you. So like I said in the previous video, the Express Entry also has three categories. The first is the Federal Skilled Workers Program. The second is the Federal Skilled Trade Program. And the last is the Canadian Experience class. Yes, the Canadian Experience class. So if you fall under any of the categories of those three programs that I just mentioned, you would be able to apply for the Express Entry. Okay, I also need to say this, just like I said in that video, if you can just go watch that video, you would understand me better in this video. I also said in that video that provinces in Canada have the opportunity or also use the Express Entry in choosing persons that they feel are eligible to come stay in their province. And they also use this Express Entry program to select persons that come into their province to help improve the economy of their provinces. So the program that works with is the PNP, which is the Provincial Nominee Program. So if you're not going through the federal route, you also have the opportunity of going through the provincial route, and you'll be able to get your permanent residence through that route. So in order for you to apply for the Express Entry program, you need to know whether you are eligible or not, because you wouldn't want to just start application or applying without knowing whether what you have as your qualifications would make you eligible for the program. So today I'm going to tell you the steps in which you have to take for you to get to the end of this program. So I'm going to start from the first one, which I already said before, and it is check your eligibility status. How can you do this? There is a part of the immigration process that allows you to check your eligibility. So you get to answer some questions online, and then they get to tell you whether you go for this program or the other program, whether you go for one amongst the ones that I already mentioned before. So while checking for your eligibility online, you're going to be asked about your nationality, your age, your place of birth, your educational qualifications, years of experience as a worker, wherever you worked. All of that will be asked just to determine what program would suit your need at that time or whenever you apply. Another step is to prepare your documents. Yes, prepare all your documents. Get your documents ready because you would have to fill a profile. One of the documents you would have to get ready is the passport. You will have to get your passport ready, your international passport. Yes, that goes without saying. Everybody has to have an international passport. If you want to travel to Canada and you don't have a passport, like how do you want to go about it? So get your international passport ready. And also there is the language test. This test is very, 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 very important because it is one of the things that actually causes a lot of delays when it comes to immigrating to Canada. So Canada says you must go through or you must pass a language test, whether a French language test or an English language test. There are several programs that allows you to do this test that you can use in doing this test. And so I'm going to mention some of them today. One of these tests is the CELPIP, CELPIP, and it's the Canadian English Language. I've got to check. So it's the Canadian English Language Proficiency Index Program. Yes, CELPIP, Canadian English Language Proficiency Index Program. This is one of the tests that you can, this is one of the programs you can use to, do the proficiency language test. And when you pass this or you get some 7 points, that places you in a very good position to be called to apply for your permanent residence. So that's just one. There's another one you could try, which is the Ielts. This is the more common one. This is the one I do hear people use most of the time. So the Ielts is the International English Language Testing System. This is international. The other one is a Canadian test, and most of the time it's just better to have an international test, right? Because you might want to try other countries, and that would be more, it would be more reasonable if you do an international test instead of just the Canadian one. So it's the International English Language Testing System. And like I said before, when you get to do this test, your score is going to determine, is going to be one of the determinants of how fast or how easy it's going to be for you to get called to apply for your permanent residence. So the language test is very important if you're intending to come into Canada through the express entry. Now, those tests I just spoke about are just for the English speakers. Yes, if you know your major language is English language, then you go for CELPIP or you go for Ielts. Now, if you are a French speaker, your major language is French, and you want to apply for the express entry, there is a program that tests your language skills, and that's the Canada test. Oh, it's in French, yeah, so I have to take it. I have to take it in French. Now it's TEF, TEF. Sorry guys, I'm checking my notes because I don't have that here. So it's TEF. It's the full meaning is the test d'évaluation de français. I'm terrible at French. Test d'évaluation de français. Yeah, you check that online and you'll be able to see more details about it. But I'm just giving you a general idea. So if you're a French speaker, you have to write either the TEF or the TCF Canada. The TCF, I'll try to pronounce it, please. Don't laugh at me though. It's Test de connaissance de français. Test de connaissance de français is TCF, yeah. Okay, guys, so that's it. So you either do the TEF or you do TEF, sorry, or you do the TCF. For that's if you are a francophone and you are intending to immigrate to Canada. So first, I mentioned that you have to prepare your check your eligibility first. Prepare your documents, and one of the documents you have to have is the passports. Yes, and then we're talking about the English proficiency test or the French proficiency test. Now, I think if you have both, or if you are good in both, and you have documents to prove that you're good in both, it's going to increase your score, right? It's going to increase your score in the pool, and I think you will be more eligible than every other person because you're good in both English and French. So it's just good to be bilingual at the end of the day. If you're intending to come to Canada and you're good in speaking English or French, and French at the same time, oh god, like I always say, the sky is your limit. After you have checked your eligibility, then you get to fill your profile. It's one of the things you do while you fill your profile is to input the test score and details about yourself and all of that, where you worked, your educational qualifications, professional qualifications, your job experience, where you, all of those necessary stuff will be in your profile. Now, your profile is going to last or be valid for 1 year, while the test is going to be valid for 2 years. So you've got to make sure that your test does not expire before the validity date or the expiry date of your profile. Your profile is only going to last for 12 months on the Canadian website. So ensure that you do everything you do within time so that nothing is going to go amiss. Another document to prepare for is your educational evaluation. Yes, you need to evaluate your educational documents. And how do you do that? You do that through the ECA. Now, if you're living in Canada and you want to apply for the express entry, you have to get a proof of Canadian education. But if someone is coming from outside the country, outside of Canada, and you want to apply for the express entry, you're going to have to get your educational credential assessment report. It's called the ECA in general, yeah. So you have to get the educational credential assessment report. So that is very important. So that is also going to add to your scores in the pool. Yes. So this document is going to be necessary if you are going to be applying for the Federal Skilled Worker Program. Now, another thing that could help increase or boost your score in the pool is if you get a job offer already, you have a job offer from a Canadian employer, that's going to help boost your score. Now, I've been talking about boosting of score, and yeah, I don't think I mentioned anything about the scores first before I started talking about it. Now, one of the things that Canada does is that once they have your profile, they begin to assess them and deduce them into certain scores. Now, you do the the language test, and it gives you a certain amount of scores. If you pass, if you get to the requirements, you get to the score they want, or the points they want, it gives you a particular score. Well, I'm still going to do a video where I will be discussing those scores, the points you get from your language test, the points you get from your ECA, that's your educational qualification assessment report, the points you get from there, and the points you get by having a job application or by having a job offer from a Canadian employer. So all of these things are the ones that will accumulate to your eligibility to come to Canada. If they're going to give you an invite, these things are the ones that would form up to help boost you up, because you're going to be amongst a lot of people who are also applying. There's going to be a pool where they would put you in the midst of many people and choose the highest ranking scores. Those are the first people they are going to, call or send the invitation letter to apply for permanent residence to. So that's why I keep mentioning the score and the score and the score over and over again. So just in summary, I already spoke about the profile, where you get to fill your personal details, your qualification details and all of that. And I already told you guys that this is what is going to determine your score at the end of the day, and it's going to determine whether you get an invite or not. I already spoke about the language test and how important it is, and once you're done with the language test, you do your educational qualification report. All of those things are what are going to add up to build your scores for you. And the last but not the least is the job offer from a province, or no, not even from a province. This time it's from a Canadian employer. If you have an invite to come work for a Canadian employer and all of that, you already have an edge over others, and that also is going to improve your scores. Yeah, so like I said before, provinces also use the express entry poll to choose persons they want to come into their province through the provincial nominee program. So that is also going to work with this profile. Okay, once you've gathered all your documents and you've submitted them, you are going to be in a pool, like I said before, and the government is going to look through to see the highest scoring the highest scoring candidates, and those are the candidates that are going to send invitations to go apply for the permanent residence. And basically that is how it works. Yes, it sounds so simple and easy, but yeah, it is a tough one, and you have to be prepared, mentally prepared, financially prepared, physically prepared for what it might take to be in the pool, and for what it might take to get the Ielts test done, the ECA done, and getting everything ready is not an easy job. So if this is what you intend to do, I have just broken it down for you in the simplest way I can, so that you can know what you are going to start with. So you have your credentials ready, you have your passport ready. Take a step today and apply for the express entry program. Don't just waste your skills and experience and all of that. Don't waste it away. If you've been thinking of it, then begin today. So after you've submitted your profile and the government has scored you and you have been successful, or you are successful, you have gotten your invite and all of that, you have 90 days to fill your application and submit your application for permanent residence. So once you've done that, the processing time for you to get your permanent residence is 60 days. You have 90 days to submit your application, and yes, the processing time for the application to get approved and sent to you is 60 days. So you've got to work with time when it comes to Canadian applications, okay? You can't go out of time, or else, yeah, it will seem like you're not serious, okay? So these are the times that you need to put in mind after you have gotten your invite. Well, it sounds easy while talking about it, but yeah, it's not the easiest application, like I said before. And you've got to be very diligent and very ready to go through this process. You've got to be ready, not spiritually, sorry. You've got to be ready mentally, you've got to be ready financially, you've got to be ready physically, and you've got to be able to prove yourself and prove your worth. Now, if this whole video made any sense to you, please click on the like button and please share my video. Yes, if you can, share my video and subscribe to my channel. I really do appreciate your stay here today. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for listening to this Smolly. See you next time in the next video, where we'll be discussing about the provincial nominee program and the LMIA. That's the work visa that allows an employer to give you a job offer. Please like, subscribe, and share. Click on the notification button to get notification about the next videos, and see you guys next time. Bye.